Hello everyone, I am Koki, also known as Kokosaurus on VRChat. It's a place with hundreds and thousands of worlds and millions of avatars to choose from and use them to interact with other people, play games together, or just chill. The reason why we're talking about it here today is because VRChat is finally free on the Pico 4 VR headset. Yes, you can download it directly from the App Store and be played anywhere that you have an internet connection, and we don't even need a PC. In this video, I'm just gonna show you how. Once you turn on your Pico 4 headset, tap into the App Store, and then you can see a lot of different software that are available for free. But what we are highlighting here is VRChat. You can search for it or just find it in the list of apps. If you're already familiar with VRChat, then the remaining parts of this video isn't going to do anything for you. But for those who are curious, then continue watching this video. Once VRChat has been installed, you can proceed to log into your own VRChat account. This account will sync everything from the Steam version of VRChat, or we can just create a new account if we want to. And then we are thrown into the home screen. From here, I want to highlight the most important thing first, the movement method. You can select to move with teleportation by controlling the body via a third-person camera or continuous movement in first-person camera. I personally prefer the first method as my body can just tolerate that kind of movement easier without any sort of motion sickness. There's another notice here about microphone, but we'll get into that later. VRChat is mostly revolving around talking to strangers, so the microphone is pretty much one of the main points in this software. Social media? Something like that. Before we move around though, let's head into the settings menu by pressing this button. From here, we can select in sitting or standing position. I selected sitting because that is how I experience VRChat. And then tapping on the gear button. We can select our height so that it matches what we see in real life. Okay, now we can start to move around. There are portals here that we can hop in and enter different worlds. The worlds here are technically separate servers, and each of them have a specific theme. Now, I'm sure many of you want to ask, there are so few worlds here. How can I search for what I want? Well, the answer is simple. Hit this button on the controller and then there's a menu pop up. Then from here, we can just tap on world and this menu pops up. We have a whole list here and we can browse by categories as well. If you know the specific name of the particular world that you want to join, then you can search for that here. Now, another staple feature of VRChat is customizing how we look in the game. As we can see from this menu here, we can select avatar. We can select from a list of recommended avatars and then look at ourselves in this virtual mirror. I selected a furry. And I don't know why, that just happened. And of course, this is not the only list of avatars that we can select from. There's a search button, so you can literally find whatever avatar that you just want to use in this game. I saw Jake the dog. I also saw this derpy How to Train Your Dragon from Cas van der Pol's animation. And many other avatars from many other shows that we recognize. When I searched JoJo avatars though, it brought me into a world. Now, the reason why it brought me into a world is because this world kind of acts like a hub for certain avatars. So for example, the entire cast of JoJo Part 3 is here. I selected Dio and did some random poses, but I eventually settled for Star Platinum because I can do the Aura Aura. Now let's go and explore what kind of shenanigans that we can do. I'm particularly interested with some games, so let's proceed with that. There's an unofficial version of Among Us VR that we can play directly in VRChat, and there is also some random shooter games, some detective games, and many other types of games that you can browse and join willy-nilly. I also entered a room to chill. It's a cabin in the woods during a night and it's a cozy space. I walked out of the balcony and it was such a vibe. Looking out and up the sky, hey, Northern Lights. It's not the best in terms of visual fidelity, but I was pretty much immersed in the mood. Eventually, I also hopped into a public space and interacted with some random people. Of course, there are a lot of random things happening. Like this guy who tried to kiss some other person. I mean, it's just an average day in VRChat for you. There are a lot of random interactions and anything can happen in VRChat. And hey, if you quickly want to just mute yourself, you can hit this button right here. And then you can see that icon at the lower left side of the screen will just tell you that you are muted. Yet now, everything is running natively on the Pico 4 VR headset. All you need is an internet connection and then you can start playing wherever you are, whenever you want. The app is about 300 megabytes in size, but you need to make sure that your Pico 4 has enough storage as this file size will grow even further. If you haven't already realized, loading each world requires files to be downloaded first. Same goes to avatars, and that's why the file size of VRChat will just continue to grow. But best of all, it's free. You can download it on your Pico 4 VR headset right now. But if you don't have a Pico 4 VR headset yet, then I'll leave you all of the purchase links down in the description below. Remember to like and subscribe this video if it helps you out. And yeah, if you have any other questions, leave them down in the comment section below. We'll see you guys in VR.